Hey everyone, it's Adriana and welcome back to another reflection video. This is going to be the reflection video for the labs for week 2 of systems programming. I'm going to share, reflect on labs 3 and 4. So let's get started. First off, Lab 3, which was the helper library lab, and essentially it was just having to create a helper header file that will allow me to use 3 methods that I can incorporate into future labs, and it'll just be easier for easy to use functionality and all that. The only requirements were just 3 helper methods. The first one they actually gave to us, as you can see from here, and basically its purpose is just to display a message to the screen to the user, and they'll get that message from inputting an integer and then so on. And then from there, they gave us suggestions on what other 2 helper functions that I can use to kind of just help me and make it easier for other labs. Now, I'm a bit of an overachiever, so even though the minimum was just to have in total 3 with 2 that I get to pick, I ended up choosing 3 instead of 2. And the ones that I picked was to return a random number within a range, print a menu, an array of strings, and return the user selection, and then copy a string reference. And I picked them 3 because I noticed a lot of the labs do incorporate them type of functions, and I can utilize that in this class's labs and even in future labs that I'll have in other classes. And it's going to show you guys just what it looks like. And yeah, that's it for the helper library. And then for the lab 4. Lab 4 is the inheritance lab, and it actually wasn't a bad lab. The main concept of Lab 4 was to create a bank program. The concepts that I had to utilize for this bank program is using inheritance and also virtual functions. And virtual functions, this isn't the first time I've had to deal with them. I dealt with them in PG2. Now, PG2, it wasn't really explained that well, so I had to seek out additional resources. And for some reason, the videos for this class, virtual functions made a lot more sense, and therefore I was able to do a lot better on this lab than I did in PG2. But this lab wasn't too bad. I kind of thought it was fun, and I very rarely ever say that about any of these labs. Most of these labs are not fun at all. But for this lab, we had to create a number of both header files and CPP files to go along with each one. And first one had to create a base account class that would represent the main bank account, and then everything that would follow after that base account would be derived classes from the original base account. And from there, I had to create classes for checking account, savings account, and credit account, and then as well as a main CPP file that had all the menu functionalities and all that, and initializing the balance amounts and having to create instances for each of the accounts and all that. And my fictional bank, I put it as my TED Talk, and my YouTube channel, Cherish the Magic. Welcome to Cherish the Magic Bank. And then everything kind of ran pretty well, except for the fact that for each of the accounts, there was a certain rule that had to be followed. Like for a checking account, I had to put a $5 fee if more than 10 withdrawals were made. Now, unfortunately, mine didn't work like that. I was still able to do more than 10 withdrawals and no $5 fee ever popped up. And then for savings accounts, that one, the rule was no more than 3 withdrawals. And I couldn't enforce that rule either. I put it in my code, but the actual message that should have popped up didn't. And I really didn't know how to fix that. And then for the credit account, I had to put a spending limit of $40 and then charge a $5,000 fee if you went over that spending limit. And it's a pretty hefty fee, but I couldn't get that. And then apparently I must have misread the directions, but the only reason I got knocked off a couple points was because for the main CPP, I needed to create a new instance of each of the accounts. And by that, they meant having to use the new keyword and turning each of the accounts into a new instance of each. Now I have a better understanding of what that meant, but besides that, it ran like I think it should, and this is how it is. I put the 6 options. Each option has either to deposit and to withdraw from each of the checking, savings, and credit accounts. 6 options total. I could have shrunk it down to probably like maybe 2 options with just withdrawal, deposit, and all that, but when I tried to do it that way, it was just not working, so I just made it the 6 options, and then from there, you just pick 1, 2, and so on. And, well, that's it. This is how it came out to be. It doesn't seem to look that bad. Let me know what you guys think. But that will be it for this reflection video. Hopefully you guys got something out of it, and this is something that you get to look forward to if you're gonna be in this class in the near future, if you're in PG1 right now. But thanks again for listening and watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.